Whether it's going back to school, starting a new job, receiving a medical diagnosis, or simply getting older, life is full of transitions. We often find ourselves experiencing the turmoil of anticipating a change and the unknown consequences of that change. Many of us hold it together by looking forward to a reprieve from this seemingly constant state of flux. The Jewish calendar has traditionally been ruled by their festivals, not unlike the way most of us think of the year in terms of how close we are to the next holiday. Holidays and festivals can be a tremendous opportunity to get together with loved ones and rest. When we are among like-minded people, we often feel relief, but when the festival is over, we face a kind of re-entry into the world. Knowing that festivals were such an important part of life for the Jews in the Bible, it makes you wonder, how did they handle their own re-entries? We often think of the Jews as a tight group of people who are well steeped in tradition and constantly surrounded by their religious leaders. In reality, because the Jews often had no home of their own, they faced a variety of cultures that rarely complemented theirs and most often directly contradicted it. As they went about their daily lives, the Jews had to work alongside and socialize with people with radically different values. Often they were mocked, persecuted, or even killed for being so different from the cultural norm. They must have asked themselves, why is it so hard? Why can't we always be around our loved ones and surrounded by a community that supports us? The Bible has several passages regarding times of change. Perhaps the most famous of these is found in Ecclesiastes. For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. This passage goes on to outline each phase of life and reinforce that life is ordered and cyclical. There is a sense of security in that, but also a sense of futility. Ecclesiastes also says, "Say not, why were the former days better than these? For it is not from wisdom that you ask this." When facing a transition, especially one you think might be difficult, it is important to remember that God is in control, and the plans He has for us are in the future and not in the past. The sentiments related in Ecclesiastes echo those found in the Old Testament, as Isaiah 43:18-19 says, "Remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I am doing a new thing." Now that we have an idea of what kind of outlook we should have in times of transition and re-entry, how do we act accordingly? Matthew 7:13-14 offers us some instruction in this area. "Enter by the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is easy that leads to destruction. And those who enter by it are many. For the gate is narrow and the way is hard that leads to life, and they that find it are few." Too many people hope to find an easy path through the complicated journey of life, while others seek to avoid complications altogether. Christians, however, do their best work and in turn live their best lives, navigating the narrower path laid out by the Holy Spirit. When your journey becomes rough, trust that God is trying to use you for His kingdom. Seek out the more difficult path, because along the way, you'll find people who need you to help lead them to Christ, communities that need healing, and the personal growth you need to form a closer relationship with Christ. This month, I encourage you to read through these passages in Ecclesiastes and Matthew. And as you do, reflect on this. Do you find yourself getting through the day by focusing on a future time of rest? Sometimes that rest is exactly what we need it to be, and other times we might find ourselves saying, "Wasn't this more easy back in the day?" The time of rest itself may represent a change in your life. Either way, that restful time doesn't last forever, and we are forced to re-enter our daily routines. Do you get caught up wishing you could go back to the way things were when you felt comfortable and happy? The Bible tells us to focus on what God has for us going forward, even when it's hard to do. In your daily life, are you walking that narrow path? Do you seek God during those more difficult times and ask Him what His will is for you during that experience? As you dwell on these questions, allow me to offer this prayer. Lord, as we face transitions that come with an ever-changing world, may we remember that for you, Everything is ordered and nothing is new to you. May we trust that your plan for us is always good, even when it isn't easy. Guide us along the narrower path that we may advance your kingdom in our daily lives.